Hollerin with Hollenbeck.
Holleback. Joey Hollenbeck. I would like to say that, like, listening to your intros on some of the things that you do is really impressive. Like the Cheers one, where you came up with a song. Like, I've been meaning to tell you that.
Thank you.
Like, legit, that's like, I like listened when I listened to the podcast with you and Sean. I'm like, damn, that intro is dope.
Thank you.
But you don't do anything like that for me. You just.
Do you not like that one?
No, I do like my intro, but I'm just saying, I like my intro a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you didn't create a song for me.
I took your favorite song that you told me about. You said, "Hey, I love these guys. This guy's my favorite."
It's Hawaiian music.
Yeah, but it's an actual song.
Yeah,
from. Actually, you know, I can't say
Iteration, Time Bomb.
Yeah,
go check it out.
And he
Good
said,
song.
and so then as soon as I listened, I'm like, "Ooh, I could probably." And what I did,
I mean, that was a year ago. Now it's probably not my favorite song anymore. But
I interjected. I just took on our first episode. You can go back and listen to it.
What I'm trying to say is, like, what you do with, like, your intros is like super creative.
Thank you.
Mad love.
Thank you. Let's do that.
Knuckles?
We just knuckled.
We just snuggled.
We just snuggled.
We just knuckled. Snuggled.
Oh, man, dude. Okay, so right out of the docket, I've got a lot to talk about. I've got a lot of questions for you. I'm going to warm you up with some other stuff. I got some football things. Obviously, we're in football season and this and that. We don't know.
We're kind of in football season.
We're kind of in football season. It feels weird.
NFL has started, and that's about it.
I was golfing today, and I walked into this area where there was like this like crunchy leaves. It was a little warm, a little humid, just a little bit, but also cool. You guys, I don't know if you guys understand that, but it felt like I wanted to go watch a high school football game. And do you ever wake up nowadays and it's like, ooh,
no? That's the thing. That's the thing. Like last weekend when the games were so garbage. It looked like I was watching a high school game, but they were college games they were playing. But that being said, it's something new, and like don't want to say there's a crisp in the air yet.
Not yet.
But what I do? Go get some bacon wrapped stuffed jalapenos. Go get the works. Just like, let's grill, let's cook. Let's make some burgers. Let's get it going. Like, there's something about it. And like the aura of, is that the right word? The aura of it. Like, then NFL Sunday, it's like literally like, it's the best feeling in the world. It's like, I don't know. It's like euphoria. It takes you back. It takes you back.
Well, I don't know about every year. Because I never played. I wanted to play. I couldn't play. Felt like I should be able to play.
You look like you could play.
Now, kicker.
Little paunch.
I could easily do better than Goskowski.
Dude, but he came around. The guy won the game.
He eventually showed up. But here, so when I didn't tell, we haven't talked about this yet, but grilling. Okay, grilling. I had grilled. I smoked.
Oh yeah, you did some ribs. You were reaching out for me for some pointers, and then when I asked you how they were going, you said you went off the script. So please tell.
Okay, so here's what I did. I talked
because I did ribs the same day as well.
Because I inspired you.
You did, and I was like, I went to the store to grab a few things, and I was like, those ribs look like they'd fit in the oven nicely or the grill nicely, and I was like,
"Oh, the oven." Hey, listen, I do the stuff on the barbecue. It's okay that you did the oven.
Shut up!
I'm so proud of you.
Just hear me out here. I don't have.
It wasn't the microwave this time, so I'm proud of you. Good job.
But listen, they turned out amazing.
Did they?
Amazing.
Okay, so here, let me tell you what I did.
But you went off script. I told you step by step. I took 20 minutes out of my day to write you exactly how to do this.
It was a good job,
and you shit on my Cheerios.
First and foremost, I don't have a Traeger. I also don't have a gas grill where I know what my temperatures are.
You can set your temperature and look at the gauge on it.
I don't have a gauge.
What?
Yeah, it's a Weber. Or Weber. You know, it's like.
So you got to do an offset then.
So here's what I did. Okay. Gosh. Here's what I did. I got some wood. I soaked it overnight. In water.
Good call.
And then I also put a rub all over the ribs. Got the ribs nice and rubbed. Okay?
Pretty standard.
Okay. I took it in foil. This is the thing I probably shouldn't have done.
You wrapped it in foil from the jump?
I wrapped it in foil, but I left it open from the jump.
I told you what to do.
I read it. I know. I read
then you text me. You after. Hold on a second, listeners. After I spent 30 minutes texting this guy when I was clearly not wanting to text him for 30 minutes. After I do that, he writes me back 2 seconds later and says, "Thank you so much. You're my hero." And I said, "I know." And then he left it at that. And the next day I sent him a picture of my ribs that were perfectly done. And he goes, "I'm going off script a little bit." And then this is the first I've heard about it. So
okay. So here's what I did. I
already know you effed them up because you wrapped them in foil from the jump.
Hold on. I wrapped them in
You don't steam them. Okay.
God. So before that, actually, I put 2 trays of aluminum foil with water in it, so I'd keep it moisture in the grill.
No, you move your charcoal to one side.
Yeah, I did that.
You throw all your chips on there straight up.
Yeah, I did that, and then I would throw more chips on it as. But
where's the water come in?
Well, I watched a YouTube video and they said keep water in the bottom and for moisture, and then the juices drop into it. I should have paid attention to that because
it's hard to do when you got them wrapped in foil. That's that.
Super hard to do. And so then what I did,
dude, what the? I'm done. Don't ever ask me for a recipe again. I will never give you my secret recipe again. And that is foolproof recipe. They turn out amazing.
I did the 3-2-1. So I did 3 hours.
That's where you're wrong. I told you how to do it.
Right. So I did 3-2-1. And then the 2, I had it in foil at this point. And then
it sounds like I moved from foil from the beginning.
I did that.
It sounds like you did a 5-1.
But I closed it up.
You did a 5-1.
So then I moved it over the charcoal at this point. I did it down, and then I flipped it over. So 2 hours down, or no, 1 hour and a half down, and then I flipped it over and did a half hour up. And then I opened it up, put the sauce all over the darn thing.
You screwed them up. I can already tell you that they were tasted like you're eating sheetrock.
I did know they were good. I did the foil over it. Oh no, I did butter and brown sugar, and then butter and brown sugar was the 2 part. Flipped them over, did that. Then on the 1 part, threw the sauce on that on top of that, and then for 1 hour,
Travis,
took it out.
You've had the ribs I've cooked before.
Your ribs were
you've had them before.
Absolutely delicious.
Okay, you've had them before.
They were amazing. Yes. Okay,
so you've had them before.
Yes.
And so when I spent 30 minutes of my day to tell you exactly what to do, there's no reason to look at a YouTube video to try to create a different animal.
And I also was playing some video games with my cousin Aaron, and he's a chef, right? He's a big time chef, and so he was kind of also helping me.
But is he a smoker like me? Does he work on the barbecue, or does he make really good at making sauces and amazing culinary stuff? I'm not culinary. I know how to cook meat.
Yeah. I probably should have went with you, probably a little bit more. And,
Thank you.
And I realize that now, and I'm sorry. I'm apologizing.
Hopefully you screenshotted those because I'm never telling you shit again.
I just realized that I have to screenshot those and favorite them as well.
No, you're done. I'm not. Don't ever ask me again for a recipe, ever.
Well, I appreciate it. So thank you very much for that. I'll try it again at some point. And then we had a wildfire, and I couldn't do another one. I want to do another one.
Wildfire? Are you a firefighter?
There's wildfires everywhere, and I can do charcoal, and they tell you not to charcoal. I almost burnt down the house because I was heating up more coals and then that's the wind hit.
Do you know what happens with charcoal? Like a thing, they catch on fire and then they burn down and then they just turn to coals and that's what you cook on.
Yeah,
you burn the fire, the lighting fluid off of it.
Yeah, no, I know that. So I had a separate thing going because I was doing the 3-2-1. So
I have one of those canisters.
No, I just took an aluminum tray and just.
Oh, okay, weird.
Yeah.
So you had 3-foot flames coming out of an aluminum tray next to your house.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the wind kicked up and pushed. And then I didn't know this. And Jamie's screaming outside because I'm inside at this point. And she's like, Travis, come
with a headset on playing Mario Kart with your cousin.
PUBG. But yes, headset on. I'm like, someone's screaming. I move my headset and I'm like, oh, it's my wife. I go out there. The charcoal bag that's empty at this point got blown on top of the little tray
the
of
coals
the
that are
coals
on fire.
that and then that's gone up and big balls of flame and wind. And this was again in the
Well, that's when it was blowing 6D sideways.
Yes.
Okay, good
Yes.
call. Good call, Trav.
Yeah. So anyway, I survived, and I realized that I probably should have listened to you, and I'm sorry. So once again, another apology.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime. But that was the last time.
That was the last time.
We're done. We're done with the recipes handouts. But
do you have anything coming up on the docket for you though?
cooking wise?
Yeah, that you're like kind of wanting to. I know you did the was the Nashville chicken. This and that. What?
Did that, but you know what? The QFC, shout out QFC.
Okay, cool. My
Sorry.
wife works for Safeway.
I know. QFC sells there's 4 that come in it, and you're probably going to spend about $11-12 on for 4 patties, but it is brisket, short rib, ground beef, and those are the 3 major players in an amazing, like the best burger patty you can make. And you get 4 of them that are pounded out, probably 1/3 to half-pound patties.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm telling you, they come out unreal.
So how long do they cook for?
Well, you just cook them till they're done.
Like a burger, right?
It's a burger. They're already pounded out, ready to go, and they're fresh.
See, what I like...
But you're going to spend, I think they're like $10.99 or $11.99
Yeah.
for 4 of them. But, dude, you're going to spend that for one of those type of burgers
Right.
at a restaurant.
Right.
Then you're going to buy a pack of buns. You're going to be into $20, but you're going to have 4 or 5 burgers.
Dude, I'm in the new types of buns.
I'm a big onion bun guy.
I'm a sesame seed guy for regular buns.
I like sesame seeds too, but brioche is good too.
Now the brioche is what... Yes.
Brioche is kind of sweet, savory.
Yes.
Yeah,
a little soft too.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I've learned in all my days of barbecuing, when it comes to burgers, you got to go American cheese.
Wait. Are you talking about
not Kraft? You can go Kraft singles. You can go.
You're talking about the ones that are
I'm
plastic?
talking about American cheese. That will make a burger night and day.
No.
Bullshit. Let me make you one.
Get going.
Okay. Start a fire on your house, and I will.
So Safeway's kind of got the same thing. Safeway's got the pounded out, patties.
Yeah, but they're not like the prime. This is like like the primo.
Meat, primo. Yes, we went to high school with them. Yes, I get it. Okay.
I'm not talking about primo from Cumberland. I'm talking about the primo cuts of meat ground up, ready to rock.
But Safeway's got the blue cheese.
Yeah, but they're using shit beef.
Wow.
They are.
We're sponsored by Safeway. Did you know that yet?
They are?
No. But we will be.
Yeah, but they're using the... Okay, go on. I won't say anything bad about it.
Thank you.
Don't eat those.
Oh, well, you're a jerk. All right, so here, let's talk a little bit of... I want to talk a little...
I thought you had a bunch of questions.
Well, I got questions for you, but I'm trying to ease into them because I got some good questions that I've been thinking about. But so there's nothing on your plate other than those. Like you're not looking to cook anything else.
I'll probably do ribs again pretty soon because they were amazing. I'll probably do ribs again pretty soon because they were good. Keto Tommy and I are going to do some smash burgers, I think.
Are you guys still doing your Instagram account? Was that?
No, I wasn't with him. Just he does it.
Yeah.
Keto Tommy has his own Instagram account, but he has this. He's got like a small Traeger. It's called like a Ranger, and it gets super hot. And I bought a griddle that actually fits into my big Traeger, and so I have my girls this weekend, and so we're going to. He's going to come over and we're going to do smash. I asked the kids today, I said, what do you guys want to do on Friday night? And they're like, I go, where do you guys want to go to dinner? What do you guys want to do? Let's go do something fun like this and that. And they're like, oh, I don't know. Why do we got to go somewhere? I'm like, we don't have to go anywhere. Like, what do you guys want for dinner? And they're like, we want burgers, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, babe. Okay, babes.
Send them over. Right
I said, okay, babes, we're making burgers. So Keto Tommy's going to come over. We're going to do some smash burgers. It's basically like raw onion with like a ball of hamburger.
Yeah.
And then you put it on like a piping hot like griddle and you smash them down and they just like get like a crust on each side. and then you throw cheese on them and scoop them up, put them right on a bun, and rip. And it's like diner type burgers.
Really? So a little pink inside, just a tad, or no?
No, they're super thin. They're like paper thin.
Oh, so you
not paper thin, but like maybe like a quarter inch.
But you cook them fast.
They cook
Just
so
flip.
you have all the balls ready,
right?
And you drop 10 of them on there or whatever, and you double up or whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna try that for the first time on this new griddle that I have that fits in my Traeger that I've had for like over a year and I haven't used it. So we're gonna try it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait to find out about it. Can't wait to find out how it goes for you. Maybe some pictures. Maybe you throw some pictures on Instagram. Show
perhaps.
everyone.
Trav, perhaps.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Perhaps.
That'd be good.
We'll
be
see.
like a mastermind. Kind of.
Perhaps.
It's a food mastermind.
I'm really into cooking burgers. I'm really into cooking. I'd like to keep it simple. So I'll go to Costco, buy like a pack of, I buy like a prime. I buy like a full pack, maybe depends on the weight, obviously, but maybe anywhere from 4 to 6 like prime top sirloin like type caps, and they're super lean. So I'll marinate them in like Yoshidas, and then I'll grill them off, and then just slice them into slices and eat them all week. And then I'll do the same thing with like chicken and like whatever.
So you do a little meal prep?
Not necessarily meal prep, but it's just there, ready to go if you need it, you know? And I'll do egg whites in the morning with maybe some diced ham.
Are yolks bad for you?
No, they're not bad for me, but don't get me wrong. I love a good over like easy.
Right.
I know how to cook them perfectly, but I like that. But like obviously egg whites are better for you. No fat, no cholesterol, no bullshit or whatever they say is in it.
I eat 2 of those a day.
I don't think it's bad for you. My grandpa is like a warrior, dude. Like, and he like straight up like eats 2 eggs a day and like raisin bran with like a bunch of dried fruit in it, and sprinkles like ground flaxseed over the top of it every day, every single day. That's his meal.
That sounds delicious, actually.
Yeah, I don't know. It's your game, whatever you want.
Yeah, I'm just living in it. It's my life, and I'm just living in it.
It's your world. I'm just a squirrel. Hey, it's your world. I'm just a squirrel trying to get a nut.
Just always trying to get that nut. So I want to shout out. 'Cause I think we may. I just when I get with Joey, I just love to listen and talk and all that. But I got to do some shout outs real quick before I forget. First and foremost, shout out to Cole Street Brewery. Go check it out. Say hi to Sean. Get a picture. Get the VIP treatment. All that fun stuff. They always hook the podcast up, so we love them. Also, please go visit Andy at Mazatlan. Go say that Hollerin with Hollenbeck brought you, and then order the Hollenbeck chalupa. It's delicious.
You won't be disappointed.
You will not be disappointed. In fact, we recommend the chicken, but you can get it in beef.
Or pork.
So if you want to just try that, I'll try this one and see what I like. Who knows? You know, Joey has the superior taste buds, but we all don't have those superior taste buds, right? So pork might be better than the chicken for you, not for Joey.
Did you say something about porking me?
Porking you. It might be porking Joey.
No, I said you
me.
trying to pork me.
No,
nobody's gonna pork me.
Listen, I think you heard what you wanted to hear. Okay. So
no, I didn't. Yeah. I said, are you trying to pork me?
You heard what you wanted to hear.
I said, are you trying to pork me? And then you flipped it.
And then
Nobody's porking me.
I'm shouting out these 3 people for our Patreon. Holly Graff, thank you so much for your monthly subscription.
In this room.
Eric Madrid, thank you as well. Kellen Hall, thank you as well. Anyone else, go hit our Patreon up. Go Full Buddy Cast Patreon. If you want to just buy us a beer, $5 a month, whatever you want to support us, we'll sell you a t-shirt too. We'll sell you a t-shirt. Joey will sign it with a silver pen.
When are we doing the Hollerin with Hollenbeck t-shirt?
I was actually mowing.
Listen to me. Hear me out here. If the Pac-12 starts, we had better have the Hollerin with Hollenbeck logo.
Okay, so we will talk off the air. But I think
we're talking right now.
Okay. We will talk off the air. But that sounds good.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It could happen.
Let's trying to pull some tomfoolery on.
No, it's
good
stuff. It's good stuff.
Okay.
We just need to. It's a lot closer than you think, but we got to talk off the air.
But if the Pac-12 kicks off, we're ripping these. We're
ripping these tees until they send us a cease and desist letter, which they might send the very next day.
And it's on you.
Yeah.
This is your cast. I'm just a
squirrel trying to get a nut.
Exactly.
Guilty. So
Sure, you have a place I could shack up tonight? What's going on? We just lost our house.
Pac-12's real assholes.
I guess we're going Big Ten this year.
We're not making shirts though.
What do you mean? I'm just a huge Texas fan.
Hook 'em horns. So stupid. All right, so let's talk a little football since we were talking O-line, and I was just thinking about. I was actually watching a few plays where these O-lines just get blasted in the back by Derrick Henry, or they get rolled up on by the running back, getting tackled by a defensive end or whatever. The O-line just gets rolled up on constantly. Now,
here's the thing, Trav.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
The play tells you to go where you need to go.
Okay.
And when the defender runs in front of you, you're supposed to destroy them if you can.
Right.
The running back, all the running back has to do is try to find an open hole.
Right.
So as he cuts, that's the I guess anything with I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but common sense wise with the football game of it, when you're out in space, they call space like the linemen are running down the field and you got a running back behind you. You don't have eyes behind your head.
Right.
So if you go left and he goes left at the same time and then he tries to cut off of you, or you know what I mean? It's basically literally like to have a perfect play in quote unquote space is, you can be on the same page all you want, but it doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't know what way the defender's going to go. He doesn't know what way you're going to think the defender's going to go. And he also, it's just, it's got to be a perfect storm almost for you to be sprinting down the field with your running back right behind you with his hand on your back and or close to your back or even 4 yards behind you. And you make the perfect block to where he can make a cut and bounce across the field or just keep rolling. You know what I mean? Like, you can't see behind you. So that's the same thing as being an O-lineman. That's just the crazy part about being an O-lineman is you don't know where your quarterback is either. So you give up a sack and you're like, what are you doing on this side? You were supposed to be on the other side. Well, you don't know that he got rushed from the other side to your side, and that's where it's like, there's a fine line. Like, so you don't know, like, what are you doing on my side when the play called for you to be on the other side?
Right, so it happens.
And then I just gave up a sack and I look like a piece of shit. But at the end of the day, like, you're scrambling for your life. Right. And if I would have held my block longer or known that you were there, but you just don't know. You don't got eyes in the back of your head. Same thing with, like, being in space on a screenplay or an O-lineman running down the field with a defender that can see the running back and is reacting on the running back, which you would think that the O-lineman could react to that too, but the running back could cut left to try to juke him to bring him to you, and while you're playing off the defensive guy, cut right, and the guy makes a tackle. You're like, well, what are you supposed to do? Like, it is what it is. Like, Yeah,
so, but what happens when you get rolled up on? And that's my question. Are your ankles just taped galore?
Well, mine always were.
Like, is that and is it where it's just basically they're hitting leg stumps? Like, it's.
I used to, when I would play, and there's photos of me and whatever, but I would play with
like black and white ones, but
you gotta really look into them. But it's before, like, they would just tape me with, like, Scotch tape. It was like the first year Scotch tape came out.
Like scotch taping your ankles.
But I would put my sock on, and then above my sock, I would do a lace up like an ankle brace that went over your foot and, like, wrapped your heel, and then you would tie it like a shoe. So there was like a heel cup, so your heel was like out of the.
I had that for like basketball.
And then there was two straps. So you'd take a strap and go
underneath
from the left side. You'd wrap around your right side of your foot, all the way around, and then tie it up again on your left side, and you do the same thing, right side around your left foot, and then all the way back up to your right side on both feet. And then from there, I would put my cleats on and lace them up tight, and then I would get a spat. They call it a spat, where they do a similar situation over your whole entire cleat. they'd pre-wrap it. So a pre-wrap means that the tape's not sticking to your shoe, but it's tight. It's like a cast. So I'd basically have a pre-wrap on over my cleats, and then they would tape it to like the bottom of like your toes, all the way up your ankle to like above the top of your high top cleat.
Right.
So you would have it like maybe above your ankle bone, probably 4 or 5 inches. And so you're almost like casted. It's almost like you're in a cast. And same thing with my like thumbs. I learned early on, like as I was playing, especially when I got to the NFL, like I would always get my hands taped because you're basically in hand combat, everything you do, right? But there's a brown flex tape that they would use, and it stretches. But I would get my whole hands taped almost like a boxer, and then I'd put my gloves on, but I would tape my thumbs, and so your thumb, it would basically, I would tape around my wrist and up around my thumb, like that socket, the socket of your thumb, essentially, because you got to think like how many times you're punching and hitting and this and that, you're bound to get your thumb jammed or like this and that. And once I started doing that, it never happened anymore. So then it would do that, and then I would buddy tape like a couple fingers because I mean, look at my hands. It looks like I played. Yeah, they're just jacked. Yeah. So, you'd buddy tape the fingers that were broken or hurt or dislocated or this and that, so they wouldn't, just ease the pain on it. So, but that's like literally like you're tape is preventing more injuries for you, essentially.
So it's keeping it together. So, do you remember like a play, any time where you got hit from behind? That you weren't expecting it or whatever. It just blasted you to where you're like bent your back in half, and you got whiplash from it.
Yeah, you play a line, that's going to happen for sure. Like, especially if they're coming to you and they send a blitz, or or you're out in space and this guy's right behind you and somebody comes behind him and tackles him into you and you just get waylaid. Especially when we call it the wash. So like, from tackle to tackle, left tackle to right tackle, inside that, they call it the box, right? So you basically have that. You have your running backs. You have your quarterback if he's under center, and then you have your defensive linemen and your linebackers. That's the box, essentially, is what they call it. And so once you get down in there, there's bodies flying everywhere. It's like you're in the wash. They call it the wash, like you're in the wash machine, essentially. Like, there's bodies flying everywhere. There's people rolling up on your legs. There's whatever. Like, it's literally like a roll of the dice every play. So you don't know. Like, but I do know this. I do know that when you go out there, I learned this very early on in my career in college, honestly, is if you go out there like timid and scared, you're going to get hurt.
You're going to get hurt.
If you go out there and go balls out.
Yeah.
Odds are you're not going to get hurt.
So,
like, if you go out there scared, you're going to get hurt.
So, Henry Van Dam.
You're going to get hurt.
I lived with him during my divorce. Mm-hmm. And he was just, he was a racer, sprint car. I don't know if you ever went out there to ever watch
this. It's
the
same thing. If you drive
that's
scared,
exactly
what
he said. He said, if you're afraid you're going to get in a crash, you're going to get in a crash.
The last time I got really, really hurt with my knee, I was playing in Arizona. And, before the game, I was already banged up, and they gave me like a Toradol shot, like in my ass. And then at halftime, they gave me I was really beat up before that game, and they gave me like Toradol pills or something. They did something, and I got hurt, but I literally had before the game, I was like, I'm not right.
Right.
Like, I was right. I've always been right. I'm always right before a game, like ready to go. That game, though, I was like, something's off. Something's off.
Right.
Like, something's off. What? Like, I know I'm beat up, like, whatever, just let me play. And they're like, no, take this, whatever. We didn't travel anybody else if something goes wrong with you. Like, it was just like the pressure, the me being banged up already, like this and that. Like, no, we're going to we need you to be a animal this game. Okay, cool. And then like, it was just weird. It was just a weird, like, feeling that came over me like I was off.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I didn't play like I was off. But something before the game, I was like, "This isn't something."
Right.
Wrong. Like I just had like that feeling.
So what happened?
And then, oh, dude, like it was bad. Like my knee. So grade 3 is completely blown out. So like I've been around guys that blown their knees out before.
Yeah.
And it hurts. It hurts. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take anything away from that. It hurts them, but they can walk on it. They can do whatever. I did that's a grade 3 that's blown out. I had a grade 2 ACL, MCL, PCL, meniscus, and I tore the capsule that holds your whole entire knee together behind your kneecap. And so right afterwards, they take me into where we were playing, put me through an x-ray, and they're like, your tibia is broken, which is your shin bone. I'm like, okay, but that's just an x-ray, right? So I'm like, okay. They're like, I don't know, your knee might be gone too. Like, it's not looking good for you. And I'm like, okay. And I couldn't put any weight on it, couldn't do anything, and it was instantly swollen already. So I'm like, okay. So then we finish the game, we win the game, we go back to the hotel, and they had given me like a horse pill Vicodin. Like literally, it's probably, I don't know what it was, but it was probably an inch long.
Wow.
Like pain pill.
Wow.
They're like, we don't give these out much. They go like, we don't give these out much. But they're like, we know what you're in right now.
Right.
Take this and we'll go from there. But he goes, you might get like 3 a week. He goes, because he's like, you'll be a straight addict if you're on these things. And I'm like, that's not my motto. He's like, well, it doesn't matter. He's like, these things will hook you. They're super powerful. So I'm like, all right. So they gave me one during the game. After the game, we cut out. We go back to the hotel. I'm on crutches. Get back to the hotel, have a couple of beers with the guys in the lobby, go up to the room, go to sleep, wake up at 3 a.m., and we're leaving at like 6 a.m. And we have.
Are you in massive pain at 3? Like, you woke up at 3 a.m. What do you mean? Like,
I woke up at 3 a.m. and I was in tears.
Oh.
Like, I'm telling you, the pain that I had was like, I've had a lot of crazy injuries. The pain I had was like insane, dude. Like, and I knew that the wake up call was coming at like 4 because our flight was at like 6:30 or something.
Yeah. So
for an hour, I like hobbled. I went in, took a leak, came back to my bed. Like, I was literally like tossing and turning and holding my leg.
You still know that pain, like right now, you feel it.
Yeah,
okay.
It's miserable. And at 4 a.m., I called the train. I could have probably called the trainers beforehand, but I was just trying to be tough or whatever. So ran it till another hour, then went to them and they gave me another horse pill. And I was like, okay. And in like 30 minutes, I was like, okay, I'm better now. I feel better. All right, we got to go. Like, we got to get on a plane. So from Arizona to like Denver, I'm like, I put my suit on and I'm like, there's no way I can put shoes on. And luckily we're in Arizona, so I had flip-flops. And I put my flip-flop on and it literally looked on my left leg like on the top of my flip-flop. You know how flip-flop between your big toe goes down, right? Flip-flop. It looked like there was like a softball or bigger above it. And my calf literally looked like it was going to explode. Like, that's how swollen it was. So that's horrible to get on an airplane with because the altitude and everything else.
It's going to mess with it.
So as soon as we're like halfway through the flight, the trainers come to me and they're like, when you get off this flight, you are not going anywhere. They're like, we have a car that's picking you up. You're going straight to the hospital. They're doing ultrasound on you, make sure you don't have blood clots because of the altitude.
Yeah.
And then after that, you're going in for an MRI, and then we'll go from there. And so, and the reason why the pain was so bad is because it wasn't blown. It was like right on the verge
of blowing out.
And that's why the pain was so bad, is from what I was told. I mean, I don't
so
know.
if it was blown out, it would hurt, but not as bad.
I've never blown out a knee, so I can't tell you. I don't
Right.
know. I mean, somebody who has maybe can tell me different. I don't know. But that's just kind of what I was told. But with the grade 2, that's right on the verge of being torn. So it was like, that's why the swelling was insane and like this and that. But even when they did the ultrasound on me, they're like, he's like, looks like you fractured your tibia just through the ultrasound. The MRI was like, you fractured your tibia or broke your tibia long time ago. This thing's been, and I had no idea.
Oh, wow.
So, like, I played football on a broken or
Wow.
fractured, like, tibia for however long.
Now, before, I mean, I do want to continue with this story, but I just want to remind everyone that there was a time when I played flag football with Auburn Riverside.
Oh, and you land on your knee.
You hit my knee pretty bad, and it
On the
still
turf?
I feel like it clicks every once in a while here too.
On the turf.
On the turf, it was bad. It was like a hard turf though.
Yeah, that was back in the day when they had AstroTurf.
Yeah, they had. I don't think they had any like mat underneath
no
it.
padding,
Yeah, it was just all. It was like concrete with just a very thin. But so I can relate. I guess I can. Just want to let you know I'm making a connection.
My great grandfather helped build that field, and what they did was they just sprinkled Q-tips underneath it, like so you over the concrete. So you may or may not have hurt your knee. Maybe if you would have fallen a couple inches to the left, you wouldn't have hurt your knee.
It hurt. I honestly thought it was made of just the hardest substance in the world.
You're such a little.
But anyway, continue on with your injury.
So that's what happened.
We both have football injuries. I get it. So
no, but that's what happened. And then I go to, they do the ultrasound. They're like, okay, you're going to be here all day, basically, because now next thing you know, the doctor's going to come in, and then after the doctor comes in, you're going to wait for your MRI. You're going to get an MRI, which can take hours, and then after the MRI hour, or whatever, then we'll let you take off from there. I'm like, okay. So I get done with the ultrasound. He's like, you don't have any blood clots, thankfully, like this and that. He's like, looks like your tibia snapped or fractured or whatever at some point. Like, okay. He's like, they'll be able to tell you more after the MRI. I said, okay. And so I'm like, I'm telling you, dude, if you were to see my left calf, it looked like if you were to stick a needle in it, that thing would just explode.
Pop. Yeah.
Like, that's how big. Like, I was insane swollen, especially from the altitude and flying and, like, whatever. And so I get done with the ultrasound, and I wait probably like an hour, and I get called into the doctor's office. This doctor walks in with, like, 3 chick nurses. And so it reminded me of, like, have you ever seen the movie Any Given Sunday?
Yes.
Where the doctor's just like pump, like kind of like whatever, like, oh, I'm the shit, like this and that. So he walks in with like 3 nurses and like whatever. And he's like, all right, man, what's going on? I kind of tell him. He's like, okay, cool. Like grabs my leg and like pushes it up and like sits on my foot and like yanks on it. Cause to check a blown out knee, like you got to pull on it a little bit, but he like yanks it and like twists it. And I'm like, I'm like, what are you doing? I like freak. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, can you not see how, like, I literally almost went through the roof in pain. And he's like, kind of just like smirk, like whatever, like showing off. I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, what?
Yeah.
Like, literally, I felt like my leg was going to pop or like explode. Like, it was horrible pain. I'm like, okay. So finally he gets done with that. I go into the MRI. They're like, you have grade 2 everything. And then it completely ripped the whole capsule that holds your whole knee together, which I didn't even know there was one, but it like basically is like what holds your whole knee together. So even like 2 or 3 years afterwards, me trying to jump rope, like my knee would like go back, almost like feel like it was going backwards. It was like jacked up. It took even probably, honestly, Trav, like I bet you for like 6 years afterwards, it wasn't healed. And they were like, oh, you're perfectly healed. You're good to go. I'm like, I'm cleared on this thing. Yep, it'll heal perfectly, like this and that. And then I start talking to like ortho guys and like NFL guys, and they're like, excuse me. They're like, no, they usually stitch that. It's like whatever, but I got hosed on that one. But well, there's been multiple things like when I played in Denver, like I completely tore the whole arch of my foot. My plantar fasciitis.
We're not doing an injury. Well, I'm not doing an injury one. I don't want to do an injury one
because you don't have any. That's why.
Well, no, because I got one, and I want to let you know something. Okay.
Yeah, I know your knee's still swollen.
Yeah, I know.
That's
I never had an MRI.
With Taco Bell.
I never had an MRI. Okay, I want you to know that. Okay. Never had an ortho surgeon look at it. Probably could have had some meniscus, probably scraped out or something like that.
Sure.
But played through it. I've been living off of it. So
you're an animal.
Just so you know.
You're an animal.
Just so you know. But we will do an injury one. I just don't want to. I just wanted to get that quick question in there. We'll talk about your plantar's wart. You said you got a plantar's wart on your foot, and that's what's that? Those are painful, though. I mean,
I completely tore the arch of my foot.
Oh, okay.
Completely tore the entire arch.
I must have missed that part. You tore an arch. Did someone just jump directly onto your foot and you were just standing there? What happened?
No, so I played the left side.
Mm-hmm.
I played the left side, and so your left foot's always back, right? So it kind of takes the brunt of anybody that's coming into you, anybody that's like ripping, pushing, like whatever. Your foot kind of takes the brunt. Well, your left foot is always you're on your toes, you know. So as you're kick sliding or doing whatever you do, and we were playing Chicago. We were in Chicago, and I was probably it was like 2 minutes before halftime. And this dude bull rushed me, came down the center on me. The bull rush is like, you know, just try to bull rush
I know
you.
football.
No, you don't. The guy tries to come down the center on me, and I posted up and had him locked down. Everything was good. And so I felt a twinge like in my arch of my foot on my left foot, like a twinge. And I went back to the huddle, and I'm like, dude. And my center's like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. Something's going on with the arch of my foot. And he's like, bro, you can't. We need you in this game. We need you like ASAP. And he's like, you can't go out of this game. Well, like I need you to finish this, at least this half, like whatever. I need you. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, I'm fine. It just twinged. Well, the next play, like 2 or 3 plays later, go on, and we probably have about 45 minutes left in the game, or in the till halftime. And he bull rushed me again, and the whole entire thing popped. But I didn't know that it popped. But so I'm like on my tippy toes, and I got nothing in the arch of my foot.
Oh.
Like the whole entire arch of my foot completely tore.
Ow.
And so I go into halftime, and I'm like, hey, this is not good. And they knew something was wrong with me. I'm like, hey, this is not good. Like I can't put any weight. Like I got nothing in the arch of my foot. And they're like, okay. So I take my cleat off. They do like some special tape job on me, load me up with whatever, do like some crazy tape job, like I said, put my sock back on, re-tape me again, put another brace on it, do this and that. And so then I play the rest of the game on it. Literally 20 minutes after the game, I played the rest of the game on it. 20 minutes after the game, I couldn't walk on my foot. I could not put weight on my left foot. So they're like, okay, when we land from Chicago, you got an appointment to go into an ortho, and we're going to get an MRI and see what's what on it. I'm like, okay. So, but I could walk, but I couldn't walk. You know what I mean?
Right. You couldn't.
I could walk, but I couldn't walk.
Right.
Normal.
Right.
You know, and so they're like, okay, get in for the MRI, go in for the MRI, and they're like, MRI comes back, and the doc's like, hey, so you completely tore your plantar fasciitis, which is your basically arch in your foot. And he's like, I go, well, so what does that mean? Is that surgery? He goes, no. He goes, what we would do normally with a torn plantar fasciitis, or like a partial tear on a plantar fasciitis, we'd put you in surgery and cut it completely, and it just heals itself. And you go this and that. And I'm like, he goes, but you've already completely torn yours. And now he's like, here's a boot for you. And I put a boot on it, and I was like, I'm not wearing this boot. He's like, then walk on it. He's like, walk on it the best you can. He's like, if we did surgery, I would cut it all the way through.
So you did the surgery yourself,
essentially, in a game, and then played another.
How long were you out for?
30 minutes on it. I didn't play the next week, and then I think I played the following week.
So it took 2 weeks to recover?
Oh no, it was still jacked, but tape jobs and pills.
That should be your
tape jobs and pills is good. Tape jobs and pills is going to be my new Instagram handle.
That's such a good name, man. So I think maybe I've done that too. I don't know. And I know that I've been joking about my knee, but there's been a couple times where I've twisted weirdly, and the bottom of my foot just is like in the most pain I've ever felt in my foot before. So I wonder if I've like partially torn it in the past and it's just healed itself up. I wonder if normal people could do that.
Well, Trav, when you're walking up the stairs at old Incline Mutual, probably not. But you never know.
You don't know.
You never know.
You never know.
That guy's real parched right now.
Yeah. So,
hey,
in our podcasts, there's times where we probably should need some surgery and we just have to cut things out ourselves. It's kind of the same thing. All right. So, well, I like hearing about these injuries. I'm going to tell you my biggest injury. I know that you're probably...
No, I do. I want to hear it.
Okay, so two of my biggest injuries. One, I was in a car accident.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Tell me about yours.
Okay, I was actually coming back. Actually, me, Aaron Mayer, and Jerry Streeter were playing flag football in a Renton league. Actually, I think we're playing the Polar Bear tournament. I want to say possibly Polar Bear tournament, and it was with my uncles and my dad and this and that. But we were all high schoolers, and we were driving back from Renton, and there was this like 6-lane road where you had two going one way, two going the other way. Then you had one turn to the left, one turn to the right. It was, and then probably median at some point. But we were coming up. The sun was just in our eyes, and we were driving up. Aaron was driving, and we're coming to an intersection. And all of a sudden, we think it's a green light for us because we can't see. Sun's in our eyes. But all these cars, and we're going about 55, 60 miles per hour. And all these cars start going across, where perpendicular to where we're going. And we realized, oh shoot, we have a red light and we have no way of stopping. Like we will not stop in time. And so Aaron decides to just gun it at that point because he's just, at this point, you just got to get around all this. And he pulls into the front of the pack that's turning head on, not almost head on to us. And just this guy clips us. And we spin across the 3 lanes of traffic into a ditch and then pop back out into someone's yard and just come and rest against this tree stump.
Did you shit yourself?
My head was bleeding. This was the biggest injury.
That's why you need to have hair.
And so I actually, when I reached up into because I hit where I was sitting in the passenger seat.
This is your worst injury? Is what you're telling
One
me?
of them. And where the seatbelt comes down through, and I hit it, bam! When we got hit by that car, and we spun across into the ditch.
So is it your guys' fault or their fault?
You didn't listen to a word I said.
No, I did.
You didn't listen to a word I said.
Mayor's fault or yours?
It was Aaron.
Yeah, he pulled out in front of the car. He tried
several cars. He tried to goose it
yeah.
because he was going too fast. Yeah. Thank you for listening to 20% of my story.
I wasn't. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page as you.
Okay, yeah. So and a lawyer hit us, by the way, believe it or not. So that sucked because it was Aaron's fault.
Idiot. Yeah, but it wasn't your fault.
No, I was fine. So I get out. I'm all discombobulated. I come around the side of the car where
Were you crying?
No, not yet. I come around to the side of the car where I think that where we got hit on because we were facing the opposite direction. And I was like, "Oh, dude, no damage, nice." And then,
are you wasted?
No, it was before a football game. Thanks for listening to my story. So I came.
You could still have been drinking,
playing flag football at 10 a.m. in the morning. Sorry. So no, we weren't drinking.
Okay,
and we were in high school. So I came around.
You were with Aaron Mayer.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I know that's. Touche. So I come around the corner of the other side. I was like, okay, that's bashed in. And then I start feeling my it's not raining, but my head's feeling a little wet. So I reach to the top of my head and I see blood on my fingertips.
Oh gosh! As soon as you see blood, you start fainting, crying.
Yes. And so I'm like,
no way.
So we were in this older people's yard. The car was, and we had all of a sudden medics showing up and police showing up and this and that. My parents were away from me. I'm 17. And so, would have to go to the hospital if my parents weren't there. My parents just happened to be driving by because they're heading to go play too.
Just randomly?
No, they were going to play flag football. My dad was on the team too. Yeah. And so, anyway,
you're like, Mom!
This old lady who sits me on the steps and she's like, "You're going to be okay, honey. You're going to be okay." And the medics come and check me out and they're like, "Okay, did you get hit? You have abrasion or anything?" And so they pop off my hat, and there's this blood matted in my hair that I had at the time. And they pull it apart, and it's maybe a quarter of an inch of a crack. But your head will bleed up top very easily.
Yeah, super thin.
Yeah, so I just barely nicked my head, And then where I thought I was going to be like, oh, dude, I'm going to go to school on Monday. And people are going to be like, dude, you got
staples in
dude,
my
you
head.
got a car accident with Aaron Mayer and Jerry Streeter, dude. That's crazy.
What? You're in the band now, bro.
And then all of a sudden it was like, shit, everyone's going to make fun of me because I thought I was going to die.
It's not even one stitch.
It's not even stitchable.
Like, you're good. We good with a Band-Aid on this thing? Or
yeah.
what?
And my dad talks to the medic, kind of looks, and my dad goes,
your dad just leans down to you. Hey, you good? You? Him? Quit being a bitch. You're embarrassing me.
he goes, talks to the ref. He goes, can he play football? And he goes like, oh yeah, no, he probably just, 10 minutes of just putting some pressure on. He'll be fine. He go play some flag football.
Yeah, him. You ever had a paper cut? Your dad? Yeah, him. That's about what it is.
But because I was 17, if my dad didn't come by there, by law, they would have to take me to the hospital and all that. So it would have been even worse. So I'm kind of glad that we kind of like got
him
cut out that.
The male nurse. Have you ever had a paper cut, sir? Your dad? Yeah. Him? It's about the equivalent of it. You? Mom and Dad, I'm so glad you drove by.
Yeah, to this day, every time, I'll see Jerry Streeter like randomly, like maybe 3 times every 5 years, and he'll always bring up that story, and he will do that same voice. Hey guys, I'm bleeding.
Guys, wait! Don't let the paramedics leave yet. I have a trickle of blood.
Dude, I thought for sure it was going to be the coolest story ever at that time.
Hey guys, can you just throw a couple staples in that just cuz? No, sir.
No, not at all. Could you guys cut it a little bit more, make it seem cooler?
So what do you want to do then, them? Well, have you ever seen them little teeny Band-Aids you put around your like pinky or your pinky toe? You? Yeah. We're going to put one of those on it. You? Okay. Yeah, so that was, and then I broke my pinky in when I was first grade. Broke my pinky. Had a cast. Had the whole cast and everything. People signed it. All that crazy. You had a cast because you broke your pinky?
Yeah. It was
a cast.
I think maybe a fracture. I don't know. Basically, I had the cast.
They didn't do the popsicle stick trick on you?
They did, but it wasn't doing anything. So then they actually casted it up. Because see, I'm an animal, dude. You can't
hold back selling, dude. You guys are freaking out there, like sticking your hand in molehills and stuff. Like, dude, you don't want to mess with stuff.
But you know what's fun? Have you ever had a cast?
My arm?
Yeah.
No.
Like finger? Yes.
No, just look at my hands though. I never have. But hey, Trav, never have.
Yeah,
Trav, look at my pinkies, bud.
Look, where are you pointing to?
North and east and west. Yeah, no, Trav, let's see your pinkies just perfectly straight.
It's got a little bit of a tilt.
That's because they had a popsicle stick
and a cast. But you sniff that cast, man, you get addicted to it because it stinks so bad. It's one of those things that smells so because they just sweat. It just sweats in there, and you're just like, oh, hey guys, smell this. You're like, oh,
yo, that's disgusting, bro.
Yeah, it is gross. I didn't do it yesterday. I did it when I was first grade. When you're first grade, you're just like, oh, smell that.
You know what my kryptonite was?
What?
Getting in trouble and smelling those triple ply like notes, the notes like the tricarbon or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, I'd go to the principal's office and just
huff them.
Here goes another call to mom.
Okay, so let's quickly rank it. I'm going to quickly rank the smells right now as a kid. Okay, as a kid. Okay. Magic marker. And
you mean like the blueberry stuff and like
everything popped off was like you would just mint,
dude. I'm telling you, the blueberry one, take grown man to his knees like right now. I would like just take a knee and just huff the shit out of that thing.
Dude, those were the best.
The black was not good though, like the black licorice. No, I could sniff it.
Yeah,
like that was one of those like no, top back on.
Yeah.
Red, cherry was good. That's good. You hit that blue though. You were like,
dude, raspberry was good too. The pink raspberry.
It was like a blue raspberry.
But what was brown? Because it would be hilarious if they're like, it's just shit.
I caught you with that doo-doo. No, I think brown was like chocolate or something.
Yeah, maybe coffee or something. So that's
bro. You know they still have those, right?
So let's do the smells. Okay, so gasoline. Remember being a kid?
Some Selleck shit, bro.
Dude, gasoline. always smell a little good.
I'm from Medium Claw. I'm more into Marlboro Lights. I'm from Medium Claw. I'm into that first light of that Marlboro Light.
Gasoline's got a little smell to it. You're like, I kind of like this.
No, I was never a gasoline.
Really? Never gasoline? Okay. All right. So rubber cement.
No. Jesus. What are you into? Trav, I'm a closet huffer. What do you mean? You just said two of the main huffing drugs of anybody that even huffs anything. Okay. Oh, you're not. Wait a second. You're not in. Okay, so you're not into gasoline. You're not into rubber cement. Next one. What about turpentine? No. Okay, what if we go a little down the spectrum?
Okay.
What about paint thinner?
Not yet.
Where are you at?
Dude, lacquer thinner.
Dude, what is wrong with you?
My dad was a cabinet maker. Lacquer thinner. Oh, man, that smelled good. Okay, what about this?
Jeez.
Brand new. Okay, how about this? Brand new plastic. I'm talking you open that styrofoam, you get a new VCR back in the day. You get a Nintendo back in the day. You're popping that open. You get a boombox, and it's that plastic with that mixed with that styrofoam smell.
What about banana bread or your grandma cooking something? You're a psycho. That's some solid shit. I'm into walking into a house and you smell like some pine salt, the house just got cleaned.
Spaghetti.
Going to grandma's house and oh damn, it smells like pine salt in here. She must have just got done cleaning. This smells amazing. Oh, is that a candle? No, grandma. No, honey, that's pine salt. Yeah. Oh, okay. What? Oh, then going back outside and playing for 6 hours and coming back in and be like, what's that? She'd be like, that's lasagna, honey.
That's lasagna. Oh, yeah. It's some French bread. Yeah.
Me just all chubby.
Ready.
Oh, give it.
Ready.
Give it to me.
By the way, speaking of that.
But no, let's go back to your next one on the list. I said banana bread, pumpkin bread.
Okay.
I know somebody makes some amazing good pumpkin bread.
Chocolate chip cookies. The chocolate chip cookie. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Brownies. Brownie smell. Delish.
Oh, yeah, I'll agree with that.
Okay, thank you.
No, but you were talking
but
some
oven cleaner. Oven cleaner.
Yeah, well, guys, if any of you know an intervention hotline, you could maybe hit me up on Instagram that I could forward to Travis. Apparently, he's into gasoline, turpentine, oven cleaner, and what was the other one? It's rubber cement.
Rubber cement. Yeah, those are good stuff. You know.
That was probably clean air and Celic.
Dude, okay, what about this? Beer. The smell of beer. Did you ever have to pick up after maybe you might have a weekend party, friends come over?
Am I hungover or sober?
No, you're a kid.
I know. Oh, I know, but am I hungover or sober?
You're sober. You're sober and you're your parents are all right, go clean up the beer bottles from last night. And you got to go and you're
once again, that's a Celic thing.
Okay.
Hey kid, go out there, clean up the 200 beer bottles, and piss on the fire. You're supposed to have a heat wave today.
That was fun.
Yeah,
I had fun there.
Any other randoms you want to
I will never bring up smells around with you again.
You? What about spray paint? I prefer the gold, but I'll do white or black or
dude, okay, fine. Let's go back to permanent marker. Permanent marker was good.
Permanent marker?
Yeah.
Permanent marker was not good. The smelly markers were good.
No, permanent marker was good too.
Play-Doh.
Play-Doh is good. Play-Doh smells good.
Were you one of those kids that used to eat the Play-Doh?
No.
Like the homemade Play-Doh that had the salt in it?
I never ate the glue because we would eat the glue.
I bet you'd eat the shit out of your boogers though.
No, I would never eat my boogers. No, absolutely not.
Never. Me neither.
Never ate the boogers. Never ate glue. Never. I even to this day.
I remember being in kindergarten and the kids just
straight up
mowing down like a ball of Elmer's. I'm like, yo, what are you doing?
I thought you were talking about boogers.
I'm talking about like a bottle of Elmer's. Yeah. I'm like, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
Like me over there with like a freaking cheese stick or something, and the kid would rather skip his lunch and eat Elmer's. I'm like, what are you doing?
What would you trade? What would you trade? Your lunch? What would you do? What would you be trading? At
I
lunch?
had, to be honest with you, I had hot lunch 99.9% of my. I bet you I can count on both my hands. Well, there's 12. Well, I bet you from kindergarten till 10th grade, or when my mom started working at the high school, I bet you I brought school lunch maybe twice a year. So maybe your hands in my hands. So maybe 20 times in how many days of school?
Holy cow.
Yeah.
180 each year.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I was on that straight hot lunch program,
but did you,
son.
Yeah.
Fridays were the best. That pizza.
Oh, pizza. Dude,
listen,
and chocolate.
My mom,
milk.
when I was a when I was a junior in high school, my mom worked for the high school. At the end of the school year, for some reason, everybody bailed and didn't go to lunch. You know the big ass trays that they had those square pizzas on?
Yes.
She brought home like 9 of them. And just put them in like bags. Dude, I ate the school like pizzas like 6 at a time for like 2 weeks. Dude, it was so good.
That's
it was
like heaven.
the best. Yeah, it was amazing.
That is so good.
Yeah, they're like, we're just gonna throw it away. She's like,
Dude, remember getting the you knew pizza was always going to be Friday. You knew that. But you would get the like month of the calendar, and it would be like, okay, you're gonna have turkey and gravy on Tuesday. You're like, shit, turkey and gravy on Tuesday. It's not even Thanksgiving. I know, what the hell is this?
Wait a second, but like, well, no, when we got in high school, you could pick. You know?
High school, but I'm talking about like elementary school. Dude, I tell you what I loved. This was my, other than the pizza, right? My probably favorite thing that they also served was that little muffin with that little like jelly in this, and like kind of like injected in the middle. Like they kind of had that little bit of a, and I think what did they serve that with? It was like a cornbread muffin with some jelly in it. I wonder if it was, did we have chili?
What do you mean? There's jelly in the middle?
Just
of it?
a little bit. It's a little bit. Just a little bit. I think that might have been the turkey gravy.
It was like they tried to give us a little Thanksgiving once a week.
Yeah, right. Or at least
that was like the cranberry.
Yeah, right. Had a little
that kind of what it was?
Yeah, had like a little cranberry jelly in a.
I'd always skip that, but I do remember the fake ass mashed potatoes with that turkey gravy over the top.
Oh, you get used. Sometimes you end up,
bro. Once you start getting into the groove of hot lunches every day,
yes,
motherfucker doesn't want another lunch.
No,
you're like, Mom, can I bring my? She's like, you want to bring your lunch? Me, I'm pretty good. What's tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, mac and cheese with chocolate milk. Me, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I visited my kids at lunch when they were, like a couple years ago. So, like 3 or 4 years ago when they used at elementary school, and I would go sit, and first of all, they get like 5 minutes to eat. Like, it's just like,
yeah, right?
Yeah, you just sit down and you're like, okay, guys, eat. And they're like,
yeah, they're like, hey, what did you do in your first class? And somebody's trying to tell them, they're like, bling, lunch is over. You're like, whoa.
Yeah. And they're like always doing this thing where they raise their hands. Okay, hands up or raised. Okay, so
go stand by the stage if you didn't inhale your lunch.
I know. Just put it in a shake and give it to the kid. I mean, what else? Have them go
give him a blender.
I remember my kid bringing stuff home from school, and I'm like, dude, you've got your bag of chips and your orange still in here. You got to eat this stuff. And they're like, we don't have time like you have time. I went and visited them. Like, they got no time.
Legit?
You can't even peel an orange in that time.
Like, nobody's chubby anymore. No little Joey Hollenbecks running around anymore.
Kids used to get in trouble.
I feel like we
used to eat your food.
Bro, I feel like we had like so much time. Like afterwards, sitting on a couch, like, doing the Pepsi Coke challenge.
Go visit
and,
Mark or Mr. Warren and talk football and where'd you go? Did you JJ or did you go to Southwood? Never mind. But anyway, all right. Well, we're getting there. We should probably wrap it up.
Why?
Well, because we're getting to that. We're past that hour mark. We talked for about 45 minutes about your knee, and then the rest of the stuff was the fun stuff. So, but anyway, everyone, thanks for listening. Appreciate y'all. And hit us up on Instagram. Hit us up on Facebook. Message us. We want to, tell us your favorite lunches. Tell us what you love to eat. Tell us what you still wish you could maybe just order. You know, we live in the society where I kind of wish I could order the pizza, brownie, and chocolate milk on a Friday for work. That'd be perfect. Anyway, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day. And
much love. Appreciate you guys listening.
Thank you.